All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Market Prep with Arjit Garg, a SEBI registered research analyst. After days of volatility, markets finally saw a strong rally today, supported by global cues, a sharp reversal from a very important and technically support zone, optimism around the US China meeting, along with the reports of Strait of Hormuz potentially reopening once again. So, in this session today, we will be discussing about what actually triggered today's market, the biggest macro result, why rupee is falling towards the dollar, and some of the key stocks to watch out for today. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Ajit, thank you so much for joining us. Can you quickly give us a brief of a market overview in 90 seconds?
Sure, definitely. Thank you so much for having me, Daman, and a very warm evening to everybody who's joined in the live today. So, quick wrap up around the markets. So, Nifty 50 closed with gains of 1.18%. I know it sounds a bit odd. We've been losing for a couple of weeks now, and now today a strong reversal has come in the markets. Nifty closed with gains of 1.18%, around 277 points rally at 23,689. Sensex as well. Today was Thursday, Sensex expiry. Sensex as well closed with gains of around 1%, 790 points rally at 75,400. So, what really happened in the market? Why was the rally? The three important reasons behind that. The first reason is the key support. Now, if you look at yesterday's session, we touched a low of 23,330. We had already marked the level and we had purposely colored it black because we were sure that the markets would come to this particular level. That happened. Market came to that level and reversed exactly. They formed a spinning top candle right here, and the reversal came in within 24 hours. And now, right after the reversal, we crossed the first important level of 23,500, which is a big positive mark. And then we crossed and closed around 23,680. Now, the next level from here is 23,800, 23,850. Whether that level would be crossed or not, वो आगे आने वाले couple of trading sessions में that will be clear to us. Now, coming back to the point, why did the markets rally? First point that we covered was the important level of 23,300. The second reason is the positivity from all of the global markets that we have. You look here, all of the European markets are green. A couple of Asian markets are green as well. Although Japan is look a little profit booking is right there. You look at Hang Seng, you look at China, a little profit booking there. But apart from that, US markets are all green, European markets are all green. So the strength is coming in from the global indices as well. And finally, the biggest positive news for the rally today, Strait of Hormuz might open very soon. How do I know that? We have the news sources which confirm that US and China, everybody knows about the thing that is happening in US and China, between US and China. Donald Trump is in China for his China visit, and today they have agreed to open the Strait of Hormuz. Both the parties are ready to do it, although open Iran ko karna hai, but China has agreed to contribute to opening Strait of Hormuz. US has also said to talk to Iran around opening Strait of Hormuz. So that is a big positive. So these were the three reasons why we saw a huge rally in the market in today's session. Repradam.
Got it, got it. No, one of the serious issues that we are currently seeing is rupee hitting a lifetime low of 95 rupees against the dollar. Now, how serious is this, and how can the market react for this?
Absolutely. So the US market, sorry, Indian currency, it has hit almost a life low of 96. Life low is for sure, but 96 was almost. So we did this 96, but it was 95.96. So that way we were almost close to 96 rupees against US dollars. So that is a big negative, right? So the this USD INR pair is troubling the markets a bit. It's troubling the sentiments a bit. But all of the other global factors that we have, plus all of the internal factors that we have. In internal factors, I'd like to talk about the strength that is coming from the broader market indices. You look at the mid cap, small cap, large cap, almost all of these broader market indices are rallying, which tell us that there's strength in the market. Strength is still alive. So it's not like कि global markets में कुछ भी हो रहा हो, अंदर से investors are selling. It's not like that. Market में strength is there. People are ready to buy in. Right. So that's point number one. If you look at all of the FII activity, you look at May 13, look at May 12, and then look at May 11. May 11th was one of the biggest selling that FIs have done in the Indian market. Around 8,400 crores was sold in a single trading session. The next day, May 12th, almost less than half of it, Barely 2,000 crores was sold by FIs, and yesterday's session, May 13th, again 4,700, which was half of May 11th. So this trend shows us that FIIs are negative. They want to sell the markets, but gradually their selling is reducing. So it's not like aggressive selling or aisa nahi hai. They're selling, but it's not very aggressive. The aggression is now slightly going away, which we can see again on the charts as well, right? So that the impact of USD INR pair is there, but it's not affecting the markets right now. Vipadam.
Okay, okay, I understand. Now, how we're also seeing, some of the reforms that are happening from the government side, for example, a reduction in the taxation for bonds for the FPIs. So, can you give a little bit more brief on the same?
Right. So if people have been tracking the news, if you're tracking the ZBase Advisor social platforms, you're aware about the gold imports that the government has introduced. So earlier, the imports were 6% on all of the gold that you import in from outside. Now that has been increased to 15%. And uska differentiation is like the breakup is 10% is the customs and the 5% is agricultural cess. So it totals to 15%. That is the total amount that you would pay on importing gold from any of the foreign countries. Right. So that was point number one. And that is also somewhere like a macroeconomic thing which is acting in support of the markets, because if you have it's very logical. If you have more import duty, if you have more customs duty on foreign imports, that would give you an idea that okay, do not import any foreign goods. It's like a restriction on foreign imports, right? That would save the dollar flowing out of the country, and that would keep the Indian money inside. And maybe if we do a little of more reforms, say if you do some reforms around SCT or capital gains for the FIIs, or maybe if you just revise the bonds taxes that all of the FBIs have to pay. So if you guys do not know about the bonds taxes that FPIs have to pay, earlier before 2023, any FPI who's investing in bonds, like any foreign party, any foreign portfolio investors who's investing in India, in Indian bonds, they had to pay 6% tax on all of the interest that they're getting, all of the money that they're making out of the bonds. So, for example, if anybody is making 8% returns on any bonds, on that 8%, you have to pay 6% as tax. Right? So, 6% of 8% is roughly around 0.4. Right? So, 0.4 was tax earlier. Later, in 2023-24, this was modified from 6% to 20%. 20% of 8% is 1.4. So earlier you were paying just 0.4% in form of tax, and now you're paying 1.6%. So this is a huge, like it's more than double, triple of what it used to be before. So this is a big negative right now. That is why FPIs are constantly pulling out of India, because things are not very favorable. So now that gold import has started, expect increase in fuel prices in India, so that you can like demotivate people to not use any kind of fuels, any kind of fossil fuels, right? So we already know what the PM Modi's announcement and appeal has been with the Indian citizens, right? Avoid buying gold, avoid unnecessary travels, avoid domestic air travels, avoid any foreign travels, right? So if you see more charges, taxes, or more, restrictions coming in for all of the imports and foreign travels, this would again improve our market. All of this might sound negative right now, but trust me, if all of this is implemented and if the dollar starts flowing back in India, if the Indian rupee stays in India, does not move out of India, this will impact our markets positively. And if that happens, we will see a new life high in Nifty very soon. Vipradan.
Got it, got it. Thanks for a very detailed explanation on the same. I think we have covered on the sector front as well. Now, can we look at stocks to watch out for, today's session and for this week? Let's start off with Cipla.
Sure. Before that, let's quickly look at the stock heat map here. So here again, I know we've talked about the big positives in markets already, but this would give you a better idea of how the entire heat map of the market looks like, right? So you don't have to look at the advanced decline anymore. You can just look at the heat map, and this would give you a good idea around what's happening in the market. What are the top sectors that are doing? What are the top stocks? How are they doing? And which direction should you invest the money in? Just look at the stock heat map and you would get to know about all of that, right? Now coming into stocks, right? So before Cipla, I'd like to just quickly talk about BSE. Bombay Stock Exchange, we had talked about it before the Q4 results came in, and we were very sure that if the results come in line with the expectations, the stock would rally to its fresh life high above 4,000 rupees. Right, so we talked about it, I believe, a couple of sessions ago, 4 5 sessions ago, and that exact thing is now coming true. The results were not just in line with the expectation, it was better than expectations. And now we are seeing BSE with maybe a rally of around 5 6% intraday, and now the stock is at life high above 4,000 rupees. So anybody who currently has their positions in BSE, they can very well book it. Otherwise, you can just hold it for a little longer, and the stock is all set to perform good and bring more returns to your portfolio. Right. So that was about BSE. Now coming to Cipla. Now, something interesting has happened in Cipla. So, this technical structure, if you had asked me about Cipla, say 3 days ago, I'd say that the structure is not very positive, it's sideways. But the results that have come in for Cipla were awesome. You look at their operational numbers, you look at their revenue, top line, and the bottom line, net profit as well. Everything is just great. And of course, it's a pharmaceutical company, and we have talked about it multiple times. Pharma and healthcare are supposed to do good. These are like the evergreen sectors, right? So you take any good pharmaceutical company, and you can just blindly add them in your portfolio. You know for sure if it's good, if it's something like if their fundamentals are very good and they belong to pharma and healthcare sector, they would definitely do good in your portfolio, right? Cipla is one such stock. We have discussed about another pharmaceutical stock in our previous sessions, which were MCure Pharmaceuticals, right? So MCure was one stock that we talked about. Cipla is another one. Good results, good management commentary, and you can see intraday again 6 to 7% rally around 1425, and right now as well. You can see that the previous gap is covered here, and even at current levels, this stock is very attractive. If anybody wants to make a position, feel free to do that. Stock can rally up till the level of 1538 over here. So that is like my final target for like say next 1 to 2 weeks in Cipla. Right. So that was all about Cipla. Another stock that I have to talk about is Bharti Airtel. Again, a fantastic stock. Not the best results, I would say, but the results were almost in line with expectations. So here as well, you'd see 5% rally today. Results were good. If somebody has their positions in Bharti Airtel right now, and if it's positive, I would say you can book profits here. But I would recommend taking any fresh trades in Bharti Airtel given the entire fight that is going on in the telecom sector. So Bharti Airtel is not very attractive right now, but the results are good. So if anybody has their positions, book profits and just stay away from Bharti Airtel for a couple of days until the resistance or levels, support levels are hit. I'll quickly mark the resistance and support for the reference of others. So the resistance level here is 1968, and the support would be the lowest level that we have seen here in the last couple of sessions, which is 1750. So this is where you can book profits and just stay away from Bharti Airtel for a couple of days until the resistance are hit.
Got it. I think there is a network error from Arjit's end. Let me just brief you all with
The
one
next
of the
stock that
news.
I have to talk.
Arjit, we lost you in between there. I was just telling about one of the latest news around Bharti Airtel. That is, the Bharti Telecom currently wants to acquire more than 50% in Bharti Airtel company. So I am not completely aware of the news. Can you help us with that?
Right, so there are a couple of news going on in Bharti Airtel again, but all of them, see, the news would come and go. For almost every company, there's some or the other news coming in, be it Bharti Airtel, be it Bharti Hexacom, Bharti Telecom, or you just talk about any other sector, any other company. News, all of it, it's a part of news, but it comes down to technicals and fundamentals. If the fundamentals are sound, if the technicals look good, that is when you can take the trade in the stock, and that is the exact point why we have marked the resistance and the support level in Bharti Airtel as well. Right. So the recommendation would be not to take any fresh trades right now. If you have it in your portfolio already, you can very well book profits there. Otherwise, wait for the levels to come in. Either the resistance level should break or the support level would break. Whenever it happens, we'll just add an alert for the stock and we'll come back to Bharti Airtel once the levels are met. Right. Final stock that I'd like to talk about is NLC India. Now, the reason why we're talking about NLC India is one of their major operations is coal gasification. Coal gasification, in simple terms, they take coal and then just they make gas out of it. That is called coal gasification, converting physical commodity into gas, right? So changing the entire structure of it. The coal gasification is doing very well. They've got solid results. The Q4 results have been massive. Uh, of course, better than the expectation, and then we can see the entire thing in today's rally for NLC India as well. Anybody who has their position in NLC India, book profits, the stock is already expanded a lot. You'd see in March and April when the entire market was falling in the month of March, NLC India was still giving you good returns, and April, so they've had massive returns in April as well as May. So for now, anybody who has positions in NLC India, book profits, no fresh trades, neither short term, neither short trade, neither long trade. So these were all of the stocks that were on the list, and I thought to share it with everybody here in this particular session. People.
Perfect, perfect. Now let's quickly look at the open interest and some of the levels for Nifty 50 as well, and we'll close off the session for today.
Sure. So talking about the open interest, the most interesting part about this session. So you look at the OI data here, and here you can see the immediate support. Right now, the current strike is 23,750. Right, that is where Nifty trades right now. So if you look at 23,700, that is the point where maximum put OI is there. Right, but an interesting part here is something called as max pain. Right? So max pain suggests what is that particular strike price where both the call as well as put would decay for zero value. Right? So max pain determines that even if the market goes long or the market goes short, that particular strike price call and put would just decay and they would just close at zero. Their net value is absolute zero. That is max pain. To calculate that, it's very simple. See, you take your current strike price and you take the current live market price, right? So if you take, say, for example, right now Nifty is trading at 23,720 or 700, current strike price will automatically be the nearest one. So it is 23,700. So irrespective of what happens in the market, if the current market price of Nifty is 23,700, the max pain would remain 23,700, which means both the call as well as put would just close, they would expire at no value because premium or discount, both of them, these two stuff, they just won't apply to that particular strike price. So that is max pain. Max pain is at 23,700, and the highest put OI is as well at 23,700, which means even if the market falls, 23,700 is the point जहाँ पे nobody would make money. ना option buyer का seller बनने पैसा बनने वाला है, ना option seller का. So 23,700 is the point which is max pain. You go little down, you would find 23,500 and 23,400 as an important support. And I guess we already have marked that level. If you go down 23,500 is marked as an important support for us. And if you just look at the resistance level, 24,000 and on the higher end 24,500. These are the two resistance level. So if the markets go up 24,000, 24,500, this is the broad range that we have for the markets to say. And if the markets go down 23,700, 23,500 and 23,400, these are the three levels जहाँ से market को support मिल सकता है. And all of these levels, we have marked them already on our chart. We have 24,000, 24,146 because we saw a gap down earlier from that level. Then we have 23,350, जहाँ पे we saw consolidation earlier, and we also have marked 24,500, which is the sub resistance as per the OI data. So all of our levels are already marked. Just to trade successfully and safely by marking all of the levels, the user have to do just very simple thing. Come down to any of the Zwise Advisor social media platform. The link for all of the live videos would be there. Come join us at every day at 4:30 p.m. for the live session that we do. We just decode the markets for you here after the entire session. Tell you the important levels for the next day, and you can just mark those levels and trade the levels by just watching all of our live videos. Hey, brother.
Perfect. Thanks. So thanks for covering my lines as well. Let's reconnect tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.